Hi, welcome to Roseopalknits, our knitting and other crafts podcast.
This is episode 41, and I'm Daphne.
And I'm Erica, and she's my daughter-in-law, and I'm her mother-in-law. So hello, everybody. Welcome back to all our returning viewers and subscribers. We appreciate you so much, and we're so glad that you're part of this community here. And if you are new and just checking us out for the first time, we hope you stick around and you like what you see and you consider subscribing. Usually it's just me and Daphne, but today we have Mr. Theo.
Yeah, and he's a week old today.
Mm-hmm.
So today's Saturday, July 31st.
Yes. So. And he was born last Saturday morning.
Yes.
And are you going to tell him how much he weighed?
He was 10 pounds, 9 ounces.
So my first son, her husband, he was 10 pounds, 3 ounces when he was born. So Theo weighed quite a few more ounces than he did. And he's your biggest one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mason and Paisley were 8'1" and then 8'10".
Mm-hmm.
So he's the biggest.
He is. He's matching his gammy today with that teal color. I guess he's a little lighter, but still. So, like I said in the beginning, this is a knitting and other crafts podcast, and but we have, of course, had to talk about the biggest FO first, which is Theo. So now we'll move into our other finished objects, and I'm going to talk about this that I'm wearing because I need to take it off. It's very warm. There's mowing going on outside. I hope you can't hear that. So this is what I call my bulky cow. That's not what I call it, actually. So I had it in this bag by Molly Klein, and I had all my notes here. Let me see if I actually put a name on it. I thought I called it something.
Every time we talked about it, you just called it your
bulky
cow. Your bulky
I think
cow.
I was calling it my lacy leaf cow in the beginning.
Something.
But, so there is not a pattern that I can link to for this. Basically, I received an order from Knit Crate in the mail a couple months ago, or a few months ago now. And it was one of those times where I didn't manage my subscription well, and I got a Knit Crate order that I wasn't expecting. And in it were 2 skeins of all Dean Wools Haze. And it is the colorway Dusk. It's 70% superwash merino, 20% kid mohair, 10% silk. There was 120 yards and each 100 grams. So I decided to cast it on right away. And I looked around for some different cowl patterns, but I just wasn't finding anything that was what I wanted. So then I pulled out this book, the Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible, and I flipped through it, and I found number 56 right here. So I decided to use that in the cowl, and what I decided to do was cast on ribbing at the bottom, and then I did just 1 repeat of the lacy leaves. They actually look like acorns too, kind of. Oh, Mr. Theo. So I don't know if they're leaves or acorns. And then I went into, it's not rib, but it's not straight stock. And I guess it is because it's this knit and purl, but it's like, I wrote it down. It's, I guess it is knit 3, purl 1 rib. It just looks wider because it's so bulky. So I cast it on with US 10 and a half. And I knit the ribbing and the first lace leaf acorn motif on the US 10 and a half. Then I took a break and I took off those tips to use on something else, so I just had a cable on it. And then when I picked it back up, I put US 13s on. Didn't realize my mistake and knit almost the entire second leaf acorn thingy on the US 13s. Mr. Theo's making noises. Yes, I know.
Bathroom. That's what he's doing.
And then I switched. Once I got past that, I switched to a US 11 and knit this 3x1 rib, all of that on the US 11, and then the top 1x1 rib I knit on the US 10.5. And I actually think I decreased a little too after the lacy repeat, because I like cowls to fit nice and snug, but to also have some drape. So this was my answer. So I'll show this real quick on. So see, it's split at the bottom. We've got creaky antique chairs, so it's split. It doesn't meet, part of it doesn't meet, and then that way it just kind of hangs loose here in the front, and I think it'll be nice to put my coat over in the winter. Let me take it off. Sorry. So I'll show
you have mohair all over you now.
So here, this is what the back looks like. It's split. Theo. So it's split. So that's it. I don't think anyone else would be interested in this, having this pattern. But if you like it, let me know, and I'll see if I can write it up and get it to you.
Looks like it could be a little dress though.
I know, my daughter Mary Rose was like, I think that could be a dress for me. And I was like, well, it can't really be a dress because, you know, the bottom part is split. But yeah, I mean, it could be, totally. All right, so that's it.
I did not finish anything.
Oh, that's right. Well,
So-
you did. You finished.
Okay, well, yes, but I meant knitting wise, I did not finish anything. So, but
You-
I have plans to finish one thing by the end of the day tonight because it's the 31st. So, it'd be my sweater for July. But
Oh gosh, I have mohair all over me.
I don't see it on the camera that much though.
No.
So, it should be fine.
Do you want to?
Don't you have another finished object?
I do. I didn't know if you wanted to take him to Holden to change him.
Oh, yeah, I probably should, actually.
Yeah, he
So-
should get. All right, we'll be
Holden's
back
gonna be mad at me.
in a minute. No, he's not. All right. All right. So, I have one more finished object. I finished a pair of socks. So I showed these in the last episode. They are the Camp Picnic socks by Kay Litton, the Crazy Sock Lady. And I was knitting them 2 at a time on two 24-inch cables. And I was here on both of them the last time I showed them. That's a sea turtle. It's cute.
Made some ceilings for his dad.
Yeah. So that's the
They
pattern
kinda
on
look
them.
like little picnic tables.
Really? Is that what you?
Yeah, look. Okay, so right here, like this is a little picnic table. This is a
Oh
picnic
yeah,
table,
yeah.
this is
Well,
a
they're
picnic
called the Camp Picnic.
So like picnic table, picnic table, picnic table.
Mm.
I don't know. I see little picnic tables.
I really enjoyed knitting these 2 at a time on the two 24-inch cables. I can see myself doing that. Again, like soon, casting on another pair 2 at a
I want
time.
to try that way, but I'm like, I don't think I'll like it. So what's the point?
No, I love it. So I've been keeping all my sock whips in my summer sock camp tote, and it says VIP Camper Erica, and today was the closing. Ooh, the color just shifted. The closing ceremonies for the VIP campers, and so we had a Zoom meeting, and it was nice. But each individual project has its own bag, so that project was put in this little bag by Cherry Pie Cottage, and it's sea turtles too, so the Progress Keeper matches. And the blue this blue is Sweet Mountain yarn, which you can find at Sweet Mountain Crafts. And it's called Underwater Adventure. It's a 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon. And I still have 2 little balls of it left. So if you've been watching us, you know that I held 1 strand of this with a strand of another fingering weight to knit a pair of DK weight socks. And now I've knit a pair of shorty fingering weight socks. And I still have some left over for, like, you know, heels, toes, cuffs. And then that little yellow pop of color came from this mini, which is from Willow Tree Yarn, and it didn't have a name because it came like as an accent mini for a sock set that I bought a year or 2 ago. So, like I said, this is the Camp Picnic sock pattern, and it was exclusive to VIP campers until August 1st. So once this video goes up, it should be available. But it wasn't until August 1st. And I cast on 64 stitches. Cast on 64 stitches on US 1.5, which is a 2.5 millimeter needle, and I knit 2 rounds. I cast on and knit 2 rounds in the yellow of 2x2 ribbing, and then I attached the blue, cut the yellow yarn, attached the blue yarn, knit a plain round in the blue, and then started the 2x2 ribbing again for 16 more rounds. And then I knit the first 4 rounds of the pattern, and on the 5th round I did the front of the pattern and then started the heel flap, and then I knit that, and then picked up the pattern again once I picked up the stitches for the gusset. The toe is a barn toe. I didn't do the toe in the pattern. I did a barn toe, but I had to shorten it because I knit the socks too long. So let's see if you can tell. If I could show you. Normally I'd end the barn toe with 4 stitches on each needle. So that's a total of 8 stitches. And this toe ended with a total of 10 stitches on each needle for a total of 20 stitches, I think.
Something like that. That's what you were telling me.
Or no, it might have been. Yeah, it might have been more than that, a few more than that. But so you see how wide it is at the top, which is fine. I mean, that might be more comfortable for some people to have it wider at the top. I just Kitchenered it together. But I think that's all. I think that's all I have to say about those. So now we'll go into whips or works in progress. You want to go first?
Sure. I have like 5.
Okay.
We'll start with this one because it's a big one. Alright, so this is my cousin's cardigan. It's the pattern I used for the numbers is the Fisherman's Rib cardigan. It's like a numbered cardigan from Webs, I think.
It'll be in the notes below, and it'll go across the screen.
But all I'm using that pattern for was the numbers because I didn't end up doing Fisherman's Rib. I did a broken rib instead. But so this is it. And last time I had the whole body done, and so all I did were these sleeves. So here's 1, and then 2. So the only thing I have to do is pick up it's not a button band, it's just a collar. I'm not adding buttons to it. So that's all I have to do, and then weave in all the ends. And there's like a million, so it's like fringe. Just leave it. No. But yeah.
I'll hold it so you can talk about the yarn.
And the yarn, I don't have much left of like any of them. Well, I have a little bit more left than I wanted. But anyway, so this one is
Persimmon. That makes Persimmon.
I never know how to pronounce it. It has too many S's in it. That's my excuse. There's only one.
Persimmon Heather.
And this is all Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in worsted weight. And then Almond. And then this is all I have left of the blue, but it's called Marina. So the button band, not button band, but the collar is going to be in this color. So, but yeah, so this is all I have left actually.
How many balls of each did you have?
4 of each.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm going to have, this is like almost a whole ball. And I don't know what to do with it. But I'm hoping to use majority of this for the collar.
What size cast on did you do? Like how many, according to that pattern?
I did the second size.
Oh, okay.
Is what it was. I think. It was either the second or third size. Whichever one is the 40-inch bust is the one I did. But it's like bigger than 40, I feel like. I don't know. But I did gauge swatch. But I also did a gauge swatch in Fisherman's rib.
Yeah.
So.
And then you decided to change it.
Yeah. Well, I did the ribbing and then I was like, I started the Fisherman's rib and then I messed it up. And then I was like, I feel like the stripes were going to be like bumpy.
Oh, you went from broken rib into just 1x1 rib.
Yeah.
I was like, what did you do here?
yeah, that's 1x1. So, okay, so the cuff is on an 8, and then a US and an 8, and then this is all on a US 9.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to do the collar on a 8 too, but this bottom ribbing is on a 9. So, because I didn't change my needle for that going into this. But yeah, so that's it. But yeah, the reason I changed it from Fisherman's rib to broken rib was to make it like straight lines when it's striped, because I didn't think the Fisherman's rib was going to work.
Yeah, because you have to go, like, don't
you
have
have
to
to
work
pick
down?
up the stitch underneath. I forget how to do it, but it was really simple to do the Fisherman's rib, but it just wasn't gonna work for how he wanted
the stripes, because you were just doing the striping pattern off of a
picture
screenshot.
It was a sweater he saw that he wanted, but he didn't want it in a like sweater. He wanted it as a cardigan. So he had a picture of a cardigan that he liked, which is where the broken rib, Fisherman rib look came from, but he wanted the stripes of a different sweater. So, I mean, I can probably send them to you if you want to put them in, but if not. And then he asked me to change the cuffs of the sleeves to blue instead of the almond color. So, that's why the striping doesn't look the same like as the body. So, but I went based off the pictures and how he wanted it. So, yeah, that's my first not finished object, but that's the one I'm trying to finish by tonight.
You have how many more? 4?
4 more.
Okay, I have 3 more.
You want me to show another one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. So this is my Dolphin Collections bag, and right now, okay, so I casted on a bunch of stuff, but I'm only going to show the 4 that I plan on working on first, really. But so this is the start of my outline tee by Jessie May, and I only did the bottom ribbing and then set my stitch markers for it, but I have to go over and do the setup round before I can just do stockinette. And this yarn, look, my yarn's tangled, hold on. It's like stuck on me. Anyways, this yarn is Hobby Lobby's Yarn Bee. It's soft and sleek DK, but with my gauge and everything, I can get a fingering weight gauge, so I'm using this for it. But yeah, and it's just 100% low pill acrylic. My yarn is still tangled. I'm struggling, apparently. But yeah, so far it's just the 1x1 twisted rib on it.
It looks pretty.
That's all.
What size needles are you using?
Oh yeah, that's a good thing to say. Right now this is a US 6, but I go up to a US 7, I think.
Excuse me.
I have my other needles in here because I'm using my clovers. I thought I had my other needles in here. Look, now I feel like I'm missing needles. Yep, they're right here. So, but yeah, I have to switch to these and then do the setup round. And then I get to work in stockinette for like ever.
Alright. So I guess I'll talk about the only other sock that I worked on. This is another DK weight sock. And last time I showed it, I had just I have mohair everywhere. I feel like mohair is in my throat. So I had just casted it on, like on June 1st, on the first day of summer sock camp. I casted on 4 socks, and this was one of them. So I am knitting it DK weight. I am holding 2 strands of, oh my word, I have 4 balls. Right now it's in a yarn bowl because I have four cakes of yarn here. So this is a homespun house, and I'm holding 2 strands of it together. I don't know if I have the tags with me. I'll look in a second. And I knit the leg doing a wide rib for the medium size. So if you, our stock recipe, the medium size is 48 stitches. And so I cast it on 1 by 1 rib, and I knit like 12 or 13 rounds, maybe 14, I can't tell. And now I'm doing a ribbing pattern that is knit 4, purl 2. And I just started the heel flap, and I'm using a contrasting yarn. This is willow tree yarn, and I know I don't have the tag for this anymore. But these 2 greens that I had used in socks for my mom for Christmas, and so I think they look good together. So, and I am knitting these on 2 US 3s using 2 16-inch cables. So, oops, that's where that is. Let me see if I have that tag in my bag. So I think this was, yes, it was originally in this Noble Character Crafts little drawstring bag in my summer sock camp bag. And here's the tag for the homespun house yarn. It is soft sock fingering and unicorn magic, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. So, and that's that. You want to show one now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I decided, I already knit one and finished it, but it's the Bobby tube top is what it is. And I knit that out of cotton yarn, but the pattern calls for a cotton yarn anyway, so I figured I'd be able to do it. Look, my needles are all twisted. There we go. Anyways, so I decided to re-knit it because that one was way too big, and I wanted it, but the yarn wasn't going to work. So I restarted it in Lions brand Woolies, and the pattern calls for DK weight. So this is a worsted weight, but so far I have the bottom ribbing done. And so for this, I am knitting the smallest size on a bigger needle. I'm using a US 9. I don't know what the pattern calls for, but so I should have knit myself like the second size in the DK weight, but the way that the cables were coming out, it must have been something with my tension, because I don't have a problem with it on this yarn when I did my swatch. So the way the cotton yarn was working, it was kind of like a ladder on the right side of the cables, or one side of the cables just had a ladder on it. So I don't know, but I'm redoing it in this yarn, and it's Lions brand Woolies Forest Heather. So it's just my scraps from my weekender. So, but like I said, all I've done is the bottom ribbing, and I need to go up to US 10, and I'm using my Knit Picks needles for this one. So, but that's all I have on that, and it's in a Molly Klein bag. But yeah, see, I just cast it on a bunch of stuff, and then did like the first ribbing, like the beginning ribbing, and then set up rounds basically, other than the outline tee. But I'm not going to show everything I cast it on, because there's a lot.
I feel like I have to like clear my throat of mohair. Okay, so the next thing I worked on was in this bag by White Rose Fiber Co. on Etsy. my bee bag. Got bees on the inside too, and it's a good size. This is my Noah shawl by Devin Ventry of Knitting McPurley. And I added, I added on 2 sections. Oh, sorry, Daphne. So the last time I showed it, I was down here where this marker is, and they both ended up being striped sections, but the striping sequence is different. Kind of hard to show. Go this way.
I don't even know how to help, like, show a shawl.
Here, hold that. Okay, so down here I used 10-gram minis, so it looks more like a fade. But they were all from Willow Tree Yarn, and it's all Willow Tree Yarn until this section here, and that's a Yarnberry mini. And then this section here, this eyelet section, is Willow Tree Yarn again. And this is Willow Tree Yarn. And then this is Queen City Yarn. And these 3 colors were in my Sunset Highway sweater. And then it's back to Willow Tree Yarn. This is all Willow Tree Yarn, actually. This is more Willow Tree Yarn, a 10-gram mini here. And then I striped it with this Willow Tree Yarn and another 10-gram mini to do those stripes. So I really love it. I know she has this colorway in her shop. Because I just purchased something from her and I saw it there. But I can't remember what it's called.
Wait, which one? The light speckly one?
The light speckly one.
Isn't it like vintage something?
Yes!
Vintage bloom?
Vintage blooms. Vintage
I really like that one.
blooms. Yes, it's in her. She still had it in her shop within this last week.
I like all her yarn though.
I know, I do too. So I just finished this section and now I'm going to start color L.
That's what you said last
Yeah,
night.
color L. So it has this pattern, the Noah shawl, was designed to use with Advent minis. So it has 25 colors. So it goes A through Y. And, but yeah, so I'm getting there. It doesn't get any bigger. No, it doesn't get any wider.
Well,
it will
it's still gonna be huge.
It will be long, but it doesn't get any wider past this point. So
I could never do that. Okay, well I say that and I knit the Campfire Cozy, and that was worsted weight yarn though.
Yeah.
You're using fingering weight.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. Oh, and I didn't tell you what size I'm knitting it on, but I was sitting there looking at it yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I probably should have knitted a size up. I think I already went up a couple sizes. No, I'm knitting it on a 5.
That's what I used to knit my Bright Feather.
Yeah, so I'm using a US 5, which is a 3.75. I think I meant to knit it on a 6. Why do I do this?
Well, I mean, you're already this far in.
Oh, I'm not ripping it out.
doing anything.
I'm not ripping it out.
That's
Just
what I mean.
block it aggressively. If I need to make it bigger, I'll just...
I don't think you'll need to make it bigger. I think it will be big enough.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Alright, so I have another Molly Klein bag. Oh man, this is going to be hard to show.
Why is it going to be hard to show?
Because I put it on, I didn't put it on stitch holders, like I just put it on a cable because that's what I had with me. Because Paisley was napping.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't want to go in the room.
Well,
anyways,
do the best you can.
Yeah. This is the Anya dress, and I've already tried to, like, I already started it once. But again, cotton yarn, and I don't know.
Wasn't it the same cotton yarn? Not the same color,
Yes.
but wasn't it the same brand? Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that cotton yarn though. Like, but not for lace and not for cables, okay? Just plain. Anyways, so this is a little hard to show. It does have lace in it, but it's there. But anyway, so this is the Anya dress. I forget who it's by, but I have split for the sleeves. It's just on a really weird way. But anyway, so split for the sleeves and
I'll hold it
everything.
so you can talk about the yarn.
And the yarn. Okay, so I changed how I was doing this pattern because it
Is
does.
this the beginning of the round? Or is that where you
No,
were?
that's it was you knit it flat
Oh.
and then you join it. So that was just marking the front. That's
okay.
it. But anyways, so the pattern calls for DK weight, but again, I went up, and this is like more like an errand weight, I think. Hold on, let me look. It says medium, but it feels.
Yeah, it says a US 8, right? And this is worsted.
It's really thick though. But anyway, so it's worsted, errand weight ish. But anyways, so and the pattern calls for DK weight. So I am knitting it on. Let me check actually. A US 10 and a half, which is 6.5 millimeter. So, and I'm knitting.
So soft.
It is. That's what my
City
Limits is knit out of. I couldn't think of the name actually.
Well,
but anyways, so I am knitting it out of bigger yarn and a bigger needle. So I'm knitting the smallest size actually for Paisley, and it's probably gonna be like a 2T size. But so that's where we're at with that. But anyways, so the yarn, the blue is Yarn Bee Yarn ID. So this is the tag. This is actually the tag for the last color I'm gonna add. So this one's Rose Water. This is Indigo, and then this yarn actually isn't the same yarn. That's this yarn, which is Karen Pantone, I guess. And I don't know what the color is. Doesn't say.
Does it say on the front, maybe?
No.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
Anyway, so it's just tan, basically.
That was like a limited time yarn, right? They don't have that.
I don't know.
Yarn
I
all the
haven't
time.
seen it.
Yeah, I think
Again?
it was just supposed to be a limited time.
So,
yarn
I
thing.
mean, I don't really know what the color is, but it's just like a tan. So, it it's like a silvery tan, I guess. So, it's going to match my City Limits, but because my City Limits does have a gray and a camel-y tan color in it. So, all I have to do is knit a couple more rounds in this color, the tan, and then there's like a waist detail, and then the skirt is going to be in the pink. So, but that's where I'm at. And then there's another little lace pattern at the bottom of the skirt. So.
All right, well, my final whip is in this craft bag from AC Moore from years and years ago. We don't even have an AC Moore anymore, it closed.
Oh yeah, I do.
And it's my Doreko. So I just put the markers in for the raglan increases. The last time I showed it to you, I was here where this marker is. Oh. That's my progress keeper from Grizzly Knits here on YouTube. She's also on Instagram and Etsy.
They're the little hexagon ones.
Yep.
I didn't realize that.
And then my stitch markers for my raglan increases are also by Grizzly Knits. So. But yeah, it's coming along. Let's see, what's that? That's like 2 inches.
Roughly.
Maybe 2.5.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I tried it on. I put it on a longer cable and I tried it on and yeah, I loved it. Like, I think I'm really gonna love it. So I cast it on for the 46 bust because it's meant to be worn with 1 to 4 inches of positive ease, and I have a 44-inch bust. That's generally what I go with, is a 44-inch. So I cast on for the 46-inch bust. And I'm probably gonna rework the numbers for the body because I have a wide back and then I have like average arms. I mean, they're not skinny, but they're not like big. And I don't like baggy arms anyway. And then I go in and then I go out. But I don't go out sideways, I go out this way. And that way. Go out this way. So anyway, I don't want it to hug, you know, I've said this before, I don't like it to hug, you know, any kind of lumps. And so I will I was thinking I might go up, like when I get past the underarm, when I split for the sleeves, I might increase up to the 49-inch size and slowly, so it kind of A-lines out. I'm not positive, but that's right now what I'm thinking I'm going to do. So I am knitting this on a Chalview US 6, and the yarn I am using is Roco Remix Light in the color number 6984. And I really like this yarn, and I think I'm gonna go to the yarn store. I bought this at our local yarn store, the Yarn Maven, and I'd like another sweater quantity of it in a different color. It's made up of many different fibers: nylon, cotton, acrylic, silk, and linen. So there's that. And I just wanted to say real brief for anyone who's following my my Tiny Decisions, what I do monthly with Tiny Decisions. I really enjoyed picking 3 projects every 4 days. I felt like that was a good balance between being focused but also going by your mood. So today's the last day of the month, so you know, I've got 3 different projects I can pick from, which are my Dureco, or my Noah shawl, or my DK weight socks. So, but I've decided to switch it up for the month of August because that's what I like to do. And in the month of August, I'm going to spin a sock wheel that has all my sock whips on it once a week. And I have to work at least 30 minutes a day on that sock whip in an effort to complete pairs. And then I'm also going to spin from my current whips wheel that also has my socks on it, as well as my Dureco, my Noah shawl, and 2 new cast-ons I'm going to do this month in August. I'm going to cast on my dad's sockhead hat and my dad's shorty socks, so another pair of socks. But I'm going to do that daily. The whips wheel I'm going to do daily. So I'm looking forward to that, to switching it up. And I guess that's it. Like, what else do I want to say about my Tiny Decisions? But anyway, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy using the Tiny Decision wheel, but also changing the rules monthly.
Okay, so I have this in this little bag from Julie, which is
my friend Julie.
Yeah. Anyways, so this is partially going into how do you say it?
Acquisitions.
I can't say it ever.
Acquisitions.
There you go. Anyway, so I ordered from Paper Crane Yarns. So this is her yarn tag. It's really cute, actually. But anyway, so this is the yarn, and it is in the Cheshire color, which is on her sock base, which is 75-25. And so I got this. Holden chose the color, actually.
Is it like after the Cheshire Cat?
I guess so. It didn't really say, but I'm gonna assume so. I would assume so. It's purple and white. But anyways, so I am knitting a sock head hat for Paisley. So here it is.
Oh no!
It's okay. It was just the ball, and it's center pull, so I'm not worried about it. But anyway, so this is where I'm at, and I'm knitting the teen size, which sounds crazy, but all my kids have big heads. Like, they're in the 90 percentile for their heads. So
we have some big-headed, big-feet people in this family.
Yeah. So anyway, so this is hers for the winter, but also, like, I don't want to knit a hat in a kid size and them only wear it like 1 year, because then it's like, this is not an expensive hat, but like decently priced hat, you know, so.
Well, I mean, let's face it, you didn't just buy the yarn so your kid could have a hat. You bought the yarn because it was pretty and you wanted to knit with it.
I wanted her to have a hat too, because Holden and Mason have a hand knit hat out of indie dyed yarn. So I was like, so this is Mason's. So I'm using the same numbers from his.
And is that going to fit him again this winter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Like, so, like, it's not like this isn't only going to be worn last year for him. He's going to be able to wear it for at least a couple years. But I mean, I couldn't imagine their heads getting that much big.
So you might, if you've been watching us for a while, you might remember that this was
that's willow tree yarn
in the Seafarer colorway.
Yes. I was like, what
and
is it?
when my father came to visit in April, he saw Mason's hat and said he wanted to have a hat just like it. So I ordered a skein from Angela Willow Tree Yarn in the same colorway, and so I'm going to cast on his hat this month. I'm guessing that it won't spiral like this because I'm not going to knit the teen size for my father.
Well, yeah, probably not. But I also was thinking that it was gonna spiral down here in the ribbing, and then when I went up, because even on this hat, like they're knit the exact same cast on number and everything. So it's on a 2.5 millimeter US size for the ribbing, and then I go up to 3 for the stockinette. So, but hers also is spiraling. You can kind of see it. Not as much as Mason's, but it does kind of have a little spiral effect to it, which I thought was cool. But
I like it.
That's where that is.
All right, so is that your last whip?
Yeah.
All right. We do have a couple of acquisitions. We won't always show acquisitions on the podcast, mainly for time. So we like to keep the podcast around or under 50 minutes. So, but if we have time, we'll show our acquisitions, and we only have a few today. So,
all right, hold on. Before we go away from this yarn, the Paper Crane Yarn, she's actually on YouTube too.
Oh yeah, she has a podcast.
So, and her name's Ashley. So
check her out.
Yep. Her yarn is really pretty though. She does do a lot of purples, but that's like one of her favorite colors. But her purples are really pretty. Well, all her yarn is really pretty, but her purples are really pretty.
And okay, well, acquisitions, real quick. So I ordered a skein of yarn from Angela of Willow Tree Yarn, and this is it. It's on the casual base, a 25% superwash merino nylon blend, 463 yards for 100 grams, and the colorway is aquarium, and I think she still has some in her shop. So I bought this. I needed one more color. Well, I need one more yarn to finish out my Noah shawl. So this is going to look great. It's coordinates, it might even be exact, to the minis that I had faded at the beginning of the Noah shawl. So, and then I'll have enough left over to knit socks or something with. So that's my one acquisition.
Okay, I have 2 more. So this is from the same shop. I don't know why the tags are different though. So, but anyways, it's Yarn is Love by Lisa. I don't remember if that's the shop name.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that was the shop name, but it'll be down below if not. So these are the 2 colors I got. This is Autumn Fields and this is Unicorn. So this one is 75-25 superwash merino nylon, and this is 100% merino, superwash merino. So I thought this was a sock base when I bought it, but I mean, that was my own fault. I didn't actually read it, so I just assumed. But it just kept calling to me, so it's just like a rainbow. But so I think I'm gonna knit Paisley something with this actually, and this was gonna be a hat for Theo, but it has like a lot more pinks and stuff in it. Online, I thought it was more green and oranges, so this is probably just gonna be socks instead, and I'm gonna use a different yarn for a hat for him, because although like there's nothing wrong with this yarn for a hat for a boy, it's just not what I was going for.
I would at least have wanted something more saturated if it was going to be for a hat, because it is fairly light.
I thought it was more just like orange and green. You know, like it has a little too much color in it.
But it'll make pretty socks.
Yeah.
Or you could use.
I'm not disappointed in the yarn.
You can pair it with
wasn't
with
what
like
I
a
was
navy
expecting.
blue and do color work. Ooh, would look pretty.
I have a gray, not a navy blue, but it's really pretty. They're both really pretty, actually. But this one, I was like, I was only going to buy one. I was only going to buy this. But then I kept seeing this, and I was like, oh, I really, really want that. But then, look at that purple. I don't know. I like that color purple a lot.
That is a pretty color purple.
But yeah, that's what I got.
So, real quick. Two things. We are discussing our next knit along or make along, and we will be mentioning, we will secure the rules or the guidelines for that knit along here soon, and we will tell you all about it in the coming weeks. But hint, hint, it's going to be a sweater cowl, and it's going to involve the holidays. That's basically all the information.
Other than the rules, of it.
And also, one other thing. So I was chatting with Angela of Willow Tree Yarn, and I meant to mention this last podcast and forgot. But Daphne and I had been discussing it already for. Do you not know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Oh, okay. You will remember as soon as I said it.
Yep.
Say it. We had already been talking about it for the last couple months about possibly, well, just asking if there would be any interest from any of you to do a Zoom call.
Oh,
So where we could knit and chat together through Zoom. We don't have a premium account currently. We just have the basic account, so it wouldn't be long. It would only be, I think it's only up to 45 minutes.
I think so.
Yeah. So, but if you would be interested in meeting up with us through Zoom and sitting and knitting and getting to know each other better, let us know down below in the comments, and we will work on setting that up. But I think that's it. And both of us have been watching new podcasts, but we didn't discussing them today. So next episode, we'll be bringing you some podcast recommendations. But that's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Yeah. So we hope all of you are healthy and enjoying your summer or fall, depending on where you are. Right? No, summer or winter.
Yeah, summer or winter.
Summer or fall.
What are we talking about?
We're go in the fall. Oh my goodness. Anyway. All right. We will see you later.
Bye.
Bye. It didn't turn off.